Hi kind friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I want to show you how to do a shabby chic background with gesso and gelatos. And this background option is perfect if you want to cover up some bleed through from the other page, which I will show you in this book, or if you completely want to rework a background. So if you're not happy with your original background, with this option it will completely cover up what you have done already. And of course you could also just do it as your first option because it is actually a very beautiful background. So I'm going to work today in Witch's Cottage. This is Tales from the Witch's Cottage by Hannah Carlson. And in this book I had done this title page here, messed it totally up, and I have some serious strong bleed through all over the page. And so I want to do this background to cover up everything that is showing through from the other side. I do hope though that I will be able to cover up all the bleed through on the actual image, which I will just cover with some mixed mediums. I think I will work with Neocolor too, but this is not part of the video actually. Today we are focusing on this background basically. And let me show you some examples. So on both of these pages I have done this background and you can see how it looks. It really does look a little bit like a shabby chic background, and it would go perfectly for a wintry scene if you ask me. But I also really like it, as a very atmospheric background. Here you can see that on this page I have used a little bit more violets, while on the other one I just have used more blues. So it really depends, what you like and what you're aiming for. I guess for a wintry scene, maybe more blues look better. On a more atmospheric image, it could be more the violet and the pinks. But both look actually very nice. So let me show you which supplies we need for this background. So we will need some gesso. This is just really some plain normal gesso, which I have here. And then we are also going to need gelatos. And you know that nowadays I really love to use my cheap kids brand gel crayons. But there's one reason why I really still love the gelatos, and this is for their pastel colors. Faber-Castell gelatos, they have like a pastel set, and you know, if I would just recommend to get one set of them, it would be the pastel set, the pastel and maybe the metallic set, because we can also do some very nice backgrounds with the metallics. So that's the only reason why I still love my gelatos a lot, because they have those extra beautiful and nice colors. Special colors, which we don't find in those cheaper kids brands gel crayons. And I mean, we could mix still our own pastel colors, but it's so much easier when you have them in a stick form if they are pre-mixed and just ready to go. So that's why I absolutely love these gelatos. And that is why we will use them today, because some of you might still have the gelatos. I think they are out of production. They are not, they are out of production. And for example, I cannot find the gelatos pastel sets in my country. And some of the sets are just, crazy high in price. Like everything that is getting rare. So if you have the chance to pick up a pastel set, I would recommend it. If you like gel crayon backgrounds. So the tools that I'm going to use is just a palette. You could use just a plate or something that you have to put your gelatos or gel crayons on, whatever you usually use. And then I do have those blending brushes here, and I do have a blending brush for every color that I'm going to use, so that I can, if I have to go back in with another color, that I can still do it. Which would not be possible if you just had one. So then of course for applying the gesso we will just use a water cup and a brush. So normal brush here. So you can see by now I have completely prepared the page here. So I have colored the image. I have added some tape here on the sides because with those mixed media backgrounds I really like to have a little edge on the side. And just a little side note, I just have to mention how much I enjoy to color this image here, even though it's so actually a simple one. But I have used my Inktense on it and I totally forgot how much fun it was to work with Inktense. They are quick and easy and so vibrant, and I just loved it, and I really need to work more with them. So now I'm going to work on the background. I'm applying gesso, so I will just put some here on a piece of paper and then apply it with a brush. A bristle brush would be better, but I have this one here, so I will use it. Don't think that I have a bristle, have I? No, I don't have a bristle. I have a cup with water just in case I want to clean my brush, because with the acrylics you really have to be careful. Once it is dry, you will never get it off your brush, or it will destroy your brush. And yeah, I have some paper towel, and then yeah, okay, let's get started. I will just put some of this medium here, a little bit much. But I don't know yet how many layers I will need here. So I will apply the gesso here, and I just wetten my brush here a little bit. I'm not going to add water to this mixture. I just want to have the brush a little bit damp. So I just took another brush because the other one was dirty. And obviously I want to have my background white, so that I can cover up what is underneath. So I have a damp brush, and then, you know, I'm just going to apply the gesso, and I will just go as close to the image as possible. So I'm not coloring over, but I will just go as close as it is possible. And I think I will just show you a little bit the process and then do it off camera, because I really need to go a little bit closer to the image so that I actually can see what I'm doing. So please apologize, but with this angle I really can't go very close to the image here. So, and the nice thing about the gesso is that it gives some texture. In this case, it is wanted. It will provide a very nice effect later on. So, if you get some strokes in there, doesn't matter. And we just really want to cover up what is underneath. Since I'm just covering up the bleed through, it shouldn't take too many layers actually to cover up what is underneath. But let's say if you want to get rid of something that you have already colored, then it might take actually a few layers. And you just do as many as you need to cover it actually. And then I'm always like brushing out, yeah, the visible stroke, so to speak. I will add a little bit more here. And then it's really just a little bit of patience that is needed here, because this page is basically quite, I mean, there is not that much of background actually, but it will work. So I'm just going in on the bottom side here, which is just going to make it a little bit easier. I wonder basically if you can actually see something. I mean, white on white. I will zoom you in a moment, and then I will do just the rest off camera. the most interesting part is of course to apply the gesso. Yeah, this is just the first step that we have to do because we want the texture and we want to cover up maybe what is underneath. Okay, I think I will zoom you in for a moment. So hopefully now you can see what I'm doing here. Oops. Okay, so it's time to finish off this image and get done with the background. I find that now that the gesso is added, the image looks immediately much better now that the bleed through is covered up, and it looks all uniform, and it's not distracting from the actual image. So the gesso is dry. Actually, gesso dries very quickly, and after a few hours, like a couple of hours, it was totally dry. And now I'm finishing it off with my pastel gelatos to add the shabby chic effect. And I decided to go for a violet pastel background because we already have some violets in this image, and I think it will just, look good with this image here. So I do have my blending tools here. But yeah, so that we don't get dirty colors, I have a blending tool for each color basically. And let me maybe quickly introduce the colors that I'm going to use just in case you want to follow this tutorial. And the most important color is actually the white, which is coconut, and then just the colors of your choice. So I do have coconut here. I do have strawberry. This is fig, elderberry. And I'm going to start with my strawberry, so with the lightest color. The white is needed later, either for blending out, maybe a little bit, but later to add the texture, the shabby chic texture, so to speak. I'm going to add a little bit of this color onto my plate here, on my palette. So, and yeah, usually a fair amount is needed here. So, on the other hand, this background is actually quite small because I don't have a lot of space here. So, we will see if that is enough. And I will also add my violet tone here, fig. Is it fig? I think so. Okay, good. So, going to get started with the lighter color here. So I will load my brush here. And the first load is actually going to take a little bit of color here. And then I'm just basically rubbing it onto my page here. So now I want to have the lightest color rather close to the image. So, and I will have the violets more in the corners, I guess. So I'm loading my brush again, wanting to add some more here, basically. And you know, yeah, so hopefully everything is visible. I think I might even try to go in a little bit here in the middle section, but not really a whole lot, because, and I need more. So this is actually quite, it's using quite a bit of the product, basically. So I need some more of it. So I'm just loading my palette here again. And then I will continue to apply it. So I might do some parts in time lapse, because I think that you are getting the the process that I'm doing here. So, okay, that's enough. Okay, now I will go in with a violet color. So I'm loading my brush again, and then I will blend it in. I have to put these away because they're making some noise. I do need some more, and I think I will also, put a little bit of the white onto my plate. Okay, I will add the blue now. Oh, this is quite nice and clean, I guess. So I'm adding just a little bit in the very corners, I guess. Okay, I think I need some more. Okay, looks good. So I think I want to add a little bit of the white now. And after that, I'm just doing one last step and then the background is done. So you see, it's very quick, easy. You know, I'm just going to lighten up a few areas here again, because I think that makes the shabby chic style. Okay, perfect. And then, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm taking my white color here and I'm just going lightly over here. Because of the texture of the gesso, we're having a very nice texture here. And when I'm lightly going over with it, it is just going to add this, to make the texture actually a little bit more like visible. And I think that looks so good. I mean, here maybe I was a little bit much, so I can, of course, blend it out a little bit if I want. Maybe here a little bit, but overall it's a really nice effect. Loving it. Okay, so perfect. I hope you can see it more like so. Yeah, and now it's basically just time to let this dry. And by the way, you can also, of course, add just more directly onto the page and then just rub it with your fingers. This is just making it a little bit darker actually, which is also not too bad to have just a few darker spots. It's not too bad. Maybe let's add some in here basically. We have to leave it dry overnight, definitely. The gelatos are not going to come off once they are fully dried, but we have to really leave them overnight to dry and of course let the book open. So I let this dry overnight basically, and now it's time to remove the tape and the paper, and then I think the final result will look instantly much better. I also have added some shiny watercolor droplets here on the page to just, you know, enhance it a little bit. And now let's finally remove the tape here. Yeah, I think it looks much better now that we have removed all the tapes and papers. Now that it all looked cleaned up, I actually really like it. Yesterday I thought that I was not that happy with this background. I mean, I love the look of the background. I just thought that it doesn't fit this image here so well. But now I think it actually looks not too bad. It looks quite okay. Even though I have to admit that it will look a little bit better when you have your main coloring feature in the middle and then work around it instead of having like 3 coloring items to color. I think, yeah, that's not the perfect one. So, but still, I think it does look quite beautiful in the end. So, usually your gel crayons will dry completely when you let it overnight. Yeah, and it does. My only concern was, since I had added so much extra white on the top, that there might be a problem with that. Usually when you have it smooth and just, you know, like your 1-2 layers, then it's definitely going to dry without you having to add a fixative. This one actually also, it didn't come anything off, so I guess this is also fine here. Yeah. So I hope you have enjoyed this background here, and yeah, try it out, play with it. This one looks even a little bit better. I have a little bit less white on here, but here I was thinking that I had some parts a little bit too dark, and so I was trying to lighten them up again. Yeah, however, I hope you enjoyed this. There are many ways to do it, like go more on the blue side, like I did on this page here, for example, go a little bit more in the violet spectrum, or go actually more in the green spectrum. So there is a lot to play with actually with this type of background, and yeah, let's summarize it just shortly. So you do a gesso underground. I don't color over my image, I just color around it. Do the everything that is very close to the outlines, let's say, of the image with a white Posca or a white acrylic paint pen. And once that is dry, which usually takes only a couple of hours, not really long, then you go over with your gel crayons. I love the pastel tones for this step, so if you have only the cheap crayons, you could mix it with white and create your own pastel colors. That would work. Yeah, best applied with a blender brush or blending tool like this. These are very soft. You could also use very short bristle brush with short hair, a little bit sturdy. That would also work. And then last step, you will go over with your white gel crayon to create the texture that we have here. And that is actually given the shabby chic effect, I think. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, give me a thumbs up, and I hope I will see you next week. Have a wonderful day, happy coloring, and bye!